The Baltimore Ravens have signed Odell Beckham Jr. to a 1-year, $15 million contract. Yes, I said it. We did it. If you didn't know, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. And Odell Beckham Jr. has been going around trying to get work from teams since he hurt himself in the Super Bowl. The Rams were like, yeah, you helped us get to the Super Bowl, but, you know, we don't know about your knee in the contract. So he was like, all right, fuck y'all. And then the Cowboys did what the Cowboys do. They let him go. And so Baltimore has had eyes on him, and we signed him, which is great because now you're looking at a team in the AFC, which needs firepower, that now will have Odell Beckham Jr., Rashad Bateman, we'll have Dev Duvernay in the middle causing blues, we'll have J.K. Dobbins in the backfield, we'll have Mark Andrews, the second best tight end in the league, the second best, because that boy Travis Kelce is nice. I mean, we're not gonna hold it. We're gonna be honest. And you talking about an offense that can put up points. You know, the only question about our offense is, will we have an actual quarterback? And there's been a ton of speculation. I'm not going to get into that. The only person who knows that answer is Lamar Jackson. But if he's there, boy, that offense is going to be hot. Speaking of hot, the Dalai Lama has found himself in some hot ass water. Video came out this morning or yesterday that the Dalai Lama told one of his constituents, hey, I think it's time we compete with Catholicism. Buddhism is a third-rate religion, and we've got to compete. And so in his effort to compete with Catholicism, he decided to be the creep himself. And he told one of the parishioners to suck his thumb. Young parishioner. Younger than R. Kelly would even approve of. Catholic priest, he might be, I don't know their age range. And all he could do today was apologize. If nothing else you can say, you can't, there's no, oh, you didn't understand. You misquoted me. You didn't hear. Suck my tongue is, look, there's no right, there's no place for a sucking of the tongue. Okay. I just thought of two places where sucking of the tongue might be okay. But first of all, it's in my own house. The other one's in the back of an Uber. Don't ask questions. I'm just saying, that's not okay. And you really just can't trust anybody. Like, that's really what this is leading us to, right? Like, you have, you know, Catholic priests who have been holding it down for whatever, but now the Buddhist, the head of Buddhism, it's just, you just can't trust anyone. And speaking of not trusting anyone, I've never trusted the police. And here's good reason why. The head of the San Jose Police Union is apparently kingpin number one in this country. Her name is, let me find it, Joanne Segovia. Manuel, I lost us on the screen, so I can't even see it anymore. I would respond to, bam, there we go. It doesn't sound like a bad deal, Sir Collins. Get out of here. And moving on. So Joanne Segovia, age 64, has apparently been caught ordering drugs from overseas. Ordering. Like, I didn't even know there was a number you could call to order fentanyl overseas, but apparently 61 orders. We're talking thousands of pounds of fentanyl. The thing that has been killing our kids. And she ordered them dressed as wedding cakes, ice sculptures, toys, whatever she did, she ordered them. Dickhead, however, decided to use the company computer and her own personal computer. And this is how I knew she was 64 years old, because only a 64-year-old person would do that. And then after she ordered it, she was like, oh, we'll pick it up using the police union's UPS account. What can Brown do for you? Get your ass arrested. She, however, wasn't arrested. She was placed on leave for pending a full investigation. Like, they got her signature on the UPS sheet. You know, you can't get the high price things without signing the back. But like the police do, they protect their own. And so she's moving thousands of pounds of fentanyl throughout this country. Who do you think moving to work? Now, when your cousin told you he was set up, you ain't want to believe him. He might not have been set up, but I'm just saying, you know, when there's room for doubt, reasonable doubt, air it out. And speaking of reasonable doubt, Donald Trump was arrested and arraigned last Tuesday, a week after he said he was going to be in New York City. And I say arrested in air quotes because arrested from where I'm from and from where a lot of you guys are from requires cuffs, maybe a hit in the back of the head where your shoulder feel like it's going to separate a little bit because they keep going up. That's what arrested is. Donald Trump walked into the police station at an appointed time with his attorneys, and they were like, hey, you're under arrest. And he was like, I know, that's why I'm here. He was arraigned, and at the end of his arraignment, 34 felony counts later, he walked his ass out of the precinct. Took his ass back to Trump Towers, which is down the street and around the corner. And this was all about the Stormy Daniels hush money, right? Did he hide the money that he was paying the hooker/stripper in his businesses, right? And the answer is probably yes, but you know, he's got to go through due process. And his attorney likened him to Tupac and Biggie. She said, it's just like he's Tupac or Biggie. No. It's worse than Tupac and Biggie because they're drumming up charges that aren't even real. So are you saying you framed Tupac Shakur? Is that what this sounds like? Because that's what it sounds like to me. And I'm just saying, you know, motherfuckers get the Freudian slipping when they get under pressure. And so we have a problem in our government is we treat our representatives as if they're different people. And the whole idea of having a representative and a let me try this again. You watching live from me? Oh, my guy Andy. Listen, Andy, don't tell me to take my shirt off because I'm the nigga that's going to take his shirt off because someone told me not to. Right, Ramona? No. So let's start this over. The problem in our country having a democratic platform is that those representatives are supposed to be us. The representatives that we elect are supposed to look, act, and be accountable to the same laws as us. However, we don't do that here in this country. We treat them a little bit differently. Well, kinda. In Tennessee, the Tennessee Three, as you well know them, Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson, were all up for expulsion last week because the Tennessee House of Representatives said, we cannot believe how they acted because they came in with bullhorns and a couple of other folks and said, listen, we are not okay with the fact that we have not brought up onto table a bill or something that we can discuss and vote on after we just lost 3 kids and 3 adults at an elementary school. 6 people killed by someone who is crazy, legitimately documented, was able to still go buy AR-15s because apparently that sounds like a Jordan release at this point. You got the AR-15s? Which ones you get? Oh, I got mines in camouflage. What you get? Oh, I got the black and white ones. Oh, shit, let me see those. They are not a Jordan release. These are deadly weapons. And so they came in with bullhorns and said, A, we want to force your hands into discussing the fact that we are losing our children to the inactivity of our government. And they got mad. Ooh, the Republican House got mad. And it was like, we putting all of you up for expulsion. Every last one of you were up for expulsion. 2 of them was expelled. One of them wasn't expelled. Gloria Johnson wasn't expelled. And I wonder why. Why, oh why, wasn't Gloria expelled? Any guesses online? Anyone? Any guesses? Yeah. So, what happened is they asked the representatives after who voted to expel. They said, why did you expel them? You weren't in any danger. There was nothing, no harm coming to you. What was the problem? And there were a couple of them who came out with the saying, it felt like an insurrection. Did it? Did it feel like this? Did it feel like January 6th? Did it feel like they were running and trying to take over the building? Is that what it felt like? It felt like an insurrection? Or did it feel like an insurrection because Nipsey Hussle's lookalike and a young Cornel West lookalike rolled through the building? Go ahead, throw those photos up for them, man, so they can see what I'm talking about. Tell me they don't look like Nipsey Hussle and a young Cornel West. So they got expelled, and the Nashville Metropolitan Council had an emergency meeting because they needed to find an interim representative to hold that position that Justin Jones was expelled from. And they unanimously voted to elect Justin Jones as their interim, giving the House of Representatives and all the Republicans out there a big fuck you. You can have that. And this is the issue. Guns in our country, which I don't know how many times we keep talking about it, but it's because it's always in the news. As of this morning in Louisville, Kentucky, we had 4 people killed at a bank, at Old National Bank, Louisville, Kentucky. 4 people killed. 1 police officer is in critical condition after getting hit in the head. Now, if Republicans are parties of the police, you're putting your own people in danger. Think about that. But what's happening is you have someone else who was able to acquire a rifle, come to work, and you know he wasn't all there. You want to know why we know he wasn't all there? Because he decided to live stream this attack on Instagram. You don't bring that shit to Instagram. You keep that shit on TikTok since it's about to get deleted anyway. But not on IG. Not on Al Gore's IG. And so what we have is we have more gun violence. But every time we turn around with something tragic, another gun law is passed where concealed carry is now legal in Florida. Or you don't have to take any tests for getting a gun in Texas. Or like these gun laws keep passing despite the fact that we keep losing countless lives. And it goes back to what I said about our representatives. Our representatives are supposed to represent us. Instead, they're representing a party's ideology. Now, I talk to people, right? Democrats and Republicans. They don't believe in party ideology. They believe some things you have to deal with and some things you negotiate on. And you meet somewhere in the middle. This forcing hands and being all right or all left is not working. We have to get back to reaching across the aisle. But we also have to pay attention to the fact that we have a gun problem in the United States of America. And I know. Someone's going to say, guns don't kill people. People do. Cool. But if I gave someone a knife and set them loose in that same bank, 4 people don't die with a cop critically wounded. You might get 1. 2 if you that man or woman. but you don't get all 4. You don't get 5. And so maybe it is the guns. Maybe it's the guns. And that is our time here at Comedy Trap House News. It's your boy Marvin Telp. We're just going to jump on comments at the end just to see if anybody said anything worth me countering. And then everything else, if you're done, peace. Dalai Lama's a mess. Yep. 3 H's. Facts. I didn't say it this time, but oh, taking my shirt off. True. Oh yeah, we know they make money off of guns, so but it's not just street level, right? Like, you have to think about the companies that are actually making these guns, right? Remington, Raytheon, all these other companies, they're also responsible for these major military contracts, right? And so what's happening is, not only are they getting billions and billions of dollars from government spending, they only have to spend a couple of $100,000 to lobby to make more money on the back end, which is us and our lives. You have, what is it, Raytheon, who failed an audit, so there are billions of dollars missing that no one has an account for. So these gun companies, the NRA, all of these other people are making money hands over fist. And here's the thing, like I said, I am a gun owner. I do believe in a right to bear arms. But shit has to change. There's a certain right to bear arms, right? Like, at a certain point, you don't need military-style weapons accessible in your house. And hell, if you do, go to a class. Make sure you do it just like your CDLs. I can get a license, right? I can get a license, but I can't drive a motorcycle unless I get a motorcycle license, right? I can't drive a truck unless I get a CDL-C license, right? I can't drive a hazardous material truck without getting the fucking hazmat license. Every one of those licenses requires a lot more education, a lot more studying, and a lot more training. Plus, you also have to go through psychological investments. So if we're not putting people on the road in vehicles they're not prepared to operate, why? Because they can take lives. But we're minimizing any legislation, any licensing, or anything for people to carry guns, which can take multiple lives. Don't make sense, do it. That's all I got, guys. Thank you officially before I get hot and upset and have to get something off my chest. See y'all next week. Peace. John, shirt stayed on. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Andy, shirt stayed on. 2 to 3 weeks. It's an easy. This is not hard. None of this is hard. This is all political. None of this is hard. This is political and money. Like, we're not asking for like an overhaul. We're just saying, hey, you should put laws and things into place for people to operate, own, and have these weapons. It just makes sense. But my mama said, common sense ain't common. Now I'm gone for real. I'm hot. Peace.